I want to thank you for taking your lunch hour today to join the conversation. I'm tired of calling it the webinar. Let's say conversation with Angelique Binet. And today's topic is how to start with social media ads without breaking the bank, which is super. I'm Christine Little. I work here at the Fredericton Chamber of Commerce, and I know many of you, but for those of you who don't know me, I do membership development in the marketing, including the social media for the Chamber as well. So what Angelique is going to teach us today is social media, the ads that work, and she'll even teach she's going to dumb it down to those of us who are beginners. We'll all be able to understand no matter what level of ads we currently do or perhaps haven't dived into yet. You're going to learn what types of ad can promote your business on social media, what's a reasonable budgetary expectation when you're starting out with advertising, what leads are all about, and when they'll bring you to your email list. Tanya, yes, the mics are turned off except for Angelique's. If you have a question, please refer to the chat and we'll go through that at the end. And I would encourage you to ask lots of questions. And as Tanya mentioned earlier, the session is being recorded. So that means eventually, probably late this week or early next, if you want to watch it again or want someone else who didn't see it, it'll be on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook, and all of our other social medias, along with our website. So Angelique, I'll let you take it away.
Okay, thank you. So while I'm going to be sharing my screen, I would love if you could put in the chat, what your business is about, what you sell, and then that could help me provide examples that helps you. Sharing screen. I'm going to put you on my other screen here. Presenter. Come on, Canva. Maybe like this. Bear with me. Is it the right screen that you see? I think it is. Yeah. Come on, why are you here? Okay. Technology. Give me a second.
Sure.
No Can worries. You see? What do you see now?
I see we see 25 cents and some other coins.
Where? So you see the right thing, but I have my notes somewhere here that I need to see too. What about this? If I do this. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'll share after maybe, but I should be able to do this. Okay, why are you doing this? Okay, I need to shut down my Canva.
Okay.
Let me shut down Canva. Okay, now it's stuck there on my other screen. Come on, baby. This is locked. I tried it 5 minutes ago and it was working.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's all right. You'll get it going.
So is it because of this? And then the thing is, I need to share first, otherwise you won't see my screen. Share screen. Okay, share. Google Chrome, maybe that's the one I want to share here. Allez, full mode. Do this. Wow. At least, even if I don't have my notes, I need to remove that thing for you. Oh, here we go. Suddenly, bam, 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 bam. Close your eyes. Voila, here we go. It starts where it's not supposed to start. Okay.
All right.
I think we're good. So, yeah. And I need to put your lovely faces somewhere else now. Here we go. So yes, sorry for this. Thank you for your patience. I'm Angelique Binet, and in this training, I'm going to show you where to start with Facebook ads without breaking the bank. And I also explain why I'm using this image, and that's why I was like, I want this image to be first. You know, you see a 25 cents, you see a 5 cent, then you 10 cents. So I'll tell you later why I'm using this significant picture, actually. So now let's hope that I can move from one slide to another. So let's go back to the promise I got for you today, which is, you know, where to start with your ads, whether you are a beginner or maybe you've started some ads and you maybe don't get the results you want and you're still trying to figure out what to do with that. And all of it without, you know, spending or wasting your money and your time, which we never get back. So you are the perfect time right now. And this is why I'm so happy to be there. Thank you for inviting me, Christine and the team. And so here's why you're at the right time at the right place. More people than ever right now are on social media than not. I'm going to give you like very fresh stats, right? So from July, for the first time in history, the number of people who are on social media there are more people on social media than people that are not. So we passed the half of the planet, right? Or half of the connected people. So I want to show you this because, you know, it gives you a sense of the total number of active social media users all over the world. And people are so connected to their phone, as you see here on the right. And I'm not going to go too deep in stats. I just want to show you. Another thing that, you know, we always hear, you know, Facebook is dead, nobody's on Facebook. Well, a lot of brands who are making a lot of money are using Facebook ads, which are beyond Facebook. For those of you who may know already, Facebook ads run everywhere on Facebook and outside of Facebook. But what is interesting in that stat is that Facebook use is preeminent among high earners. So, and it even surpasses LinkedIn, which reached just 49% of users making more than $75,000 US. And YouTube is the only social media platforms with more reach at 83% of high income earners. So Facebook is in the top. People who earn a lot are using Facebook. So that's the freshest stat I found last night, and I was so excited for you guys because October 1st, this study came out, and it shows that more than 1/3 of consumers shop online weekly since the COVID thing happened, which is 28% more than before COVID. So those numbers is, you know, amazing because this is what it means for you, right? We are at a time that, you know, more people are online than ever. That's one thing, but people, thanks to what we're going through right now, this adversity, you know, environment, is that people have learned to use the internet properly. So now they know how to spend even more money on internet. and consume content, and how to read an ad and how to act after. It's one thing to read an ad, but you need to take action right after. So more people are buying online than ever. That's for a fact. So before we go deep dive, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of who I am. So my name is Angélique Binet. I am a digital marketing consultant, and my career started as a video journalist at the CBC, Radio-Canada, and before that in France. I'm from France originally. Maybe you can hear my little accent. I'm a public relations specialist, as well as an entrepreneur for the last 7-8 years, and paid media strategist for the province of New Brunswick. I'm the founder of something called Social Media Love. I have a channel on YouTube called Social Media Love in English, and then one in French, Social Media Love. I'm also the creator of a program called the Audience DNA Lab, because the struggle we all have online is to find the right audience. And once you have found it, what do you tell them, right? So this is something I'm going to be talking to you about a little later. The Visibility Accelerator is another one of my one-on-one program that I have with women entrepreneurs. So that's enough of me. I want to talk about my mission. And when I say it's the mission of Social Media Love is really to catapult the number of 6-figure women entrepreneurs online by helping them unleash their inner rock star so that they can rise up and impact the world their own way with paid and organic traffic. Because we are right now at a really historical time. There is no more boundaries with the internet, with the social media. So whether, no more gender equity, skin color, culture background, there is no limit. As soon as you have a connection, you can share your message, you can monetize your message, and you can sell your stuff, whether it's products, services, or programs. So I'm calling on all ambitious women here, and I see there are so many of you. Welcome to. And I want you to think that way today, like for the next 45 minutes. How do you take advantage of what's going on right now, even if it feels so hard right now for a lot of businesses? Step one, I'm all about making things simple. So I just want to give you kind of let's go back to the basic. What is an ad? Make an ad simply. So, and actually my slide is really not simple. I don't know why. I should have redone it, but the arrows are crossing each other. I should have just changed the order of the words, but I guess it's my signature slide. Okay, so basically what is an ad? It's a text, right? It's an image or a video. Then there is an audience, some people you want to send them that specific ad, and there is an offer, whether it's to, visit your website, buy your product, or do something, right? So let's make it simple. And, the most important thing in an ad is the combination of those 4 things, whether it's what words do I use, what images do I use, and what videos do I use, and that's it, basically. So it's all about words, creative. We call that creative in the marketing world, like the videos and images, we call that a creative. The text, we call that a copy, if you've ever heard those words. And then you mix all of this, and basically it looks like a post, right? And Facebook always says that whatever ads you do should read like something a friend would post on their timeline. And that's where it's hard, because we have a tendency to want to be like, buy this, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. So today I'm going to show you some stuff you can do so that it doesn't sound like buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Number 2, don't follow the recipes. I know you're going to say like, what the heck are we doing here if you're not giving us a recipe? Because there is no recipe. There are rules that you have to respect, and I would encourage you to actually read, like literally even print them and read them, the rules of Facebook for Facebook ads. There are things you're absolutely not allowed to do, and the risk is that you could be shut down. They could shut down your ad account and you could never find it again. That could happen. That happens. It's not unusual, and sometimes it's not justified, but sometimes it's because we misread some of the rules. So if there is one rule to respect, No matter which platform you're running ads right now on social media, I invite you to read the advertising policy of each of the platforms where you are interacting as an advertiser. So you've probably, if you're here today, it's probably because it's not your first webinar about ads. Okay. You've been bombarded with marketers, like, here's how you do it. So most of the time we hear, if you don't do this, then you're dead. Well, that's not true, right? You do, like, the do this, not that, it doesn't really work, because most of the time, when I work with my students or for my own businesses or for the clients I serve, we need to try ads before we say, do this, not that. So you're going to learn some of the basic of that, but there's nobody that can tell you, do this, not that. It really depends on your audience. It really depends on a bunch of components. So there is no big truth about ads. So I hope it helps you that, just to reassure that anxiety level. Number two, you probably hear a lot. If you don't spend that much amount of money, you're nothing on social media. Facebook is the first guilty of that, because when you don't put enough money in your ad machine, you probably, I don't know if you've seen that, they put a little red message saying you're not spending enough today, you won't get any reach. Well, that's not true either. It's not because it's not true, it's just because there are ways of doing it and they want you to spend more for sure. But I want to tell you that today is about not breaking the bank. And I'm going to show you ways to test your ads before you break the bank, in a sense that it works, so you can invest more, right? You hear a lot about, it's all about targeting, right? If you don't target the right people, if you don't narrow it enough, then you're going to waste money. Well, the beauty of Facebook ads is that you need to give enough information to Facebook and Instagram so that they find the right people, but they have those algorithms that are so amazing. And we should stop criticizing the algorithm because they're amazing once you enter enough data so that Facebook can go and grab the attention of your next client. And then you probably have that syndrome, like you have to be perfect ad, gonna do perfect result. Well, sometimes it's completely the contrary. And even myself, sometimes I don't have to do the perfect photo for it. And then I take a random photo and that ad is performing like crazy because it looks so like a regular post that a friend is posting on their timeline. Right? So perfect ads, in my definition and in the definitions of all the mentors I have to work with me and when I work with my clients, the perfect one is the one that works. And you don't know when it works until you tried it and tested it. So I hope this helps you to kind of demystify that there is a secret about ads. The secret is the practice of it. It's like anything, any skills you learn, you need to practice, you need to learn how to use the tool. It's like biking. You need to learn to use the pedals, the handlebar, the brakes, proper pressure on the brakes so that you don't fall, etc., etc. So now let's go back to our little money here. Because remember, our goal today is really to show you and demonstrate you that you don't have to break the bank to start with Facebook ads. So this is exactly why. So I'm going to share, I know it's very small. That's one of the downsides of Facebook reporting. It's not very user-friendly. It's hard to read, but can you see when I move like this? My little blue thing? Yeah, okay. So what if I tell you that for 15 cents here, my client sold 21 programs at $150 a seat. And look how much we invested every day in ads, $5. So this is a pure example of when people say you have to put like tons of money in ads, especially when you start, this is not true. You start small, and this is what that class is all about. You start small, you learn the skills, you learn, and then you see what works. So that was like September, right? So for that client had like, it was a New Brunswick person. So she had to target 3 different regions in New Brunswick. For each region, we invested $5. And I'll tell you more about this in a minute, but this is what happened in, with $5 a day. So when you notice that something is working, when you test your ads, it's really important that you do more of it. And I would say that's the only kind of rule you can follow, because you're gonna put in place your own ad machine. You're gonna test the system, test the audiences with those small amount of money, and you'll see a pattern. Sometimes that ad is working. Sometimes it's hard to know why, but it's working. So you're gonna do more of that. So this is why we are doing, like, when I find an ad that works well for a client, I apply it to another client, or we do more of it to that own student. And so that's what we did. So I think maybe even Jennifer, I think, might be here today. We did more ads for her. So that was like a very typical example of when people come to me, they're always like, oh my God, tomorrow I need to fill up my programs. I need to fill up everything. So she had to run some day camps, and her program, that it was like, not enough registration with the COVID stuff. And so we had 2 weeks to fill up her camp. It was $250 per kid plus tax. And here's how I did it. I said, okay, how much money are you willing to lose? And for me, I have always in mind, what is the cost of the one thing I want to sell? So if it's $300, if it's $5,000, if it's $7, I'm going to take that amount. And I said, we're going to try to sell one. If we sell more, good. So I said, you're willing to lose $250 plus tax, which is around $300. She said, yep. And so we did the full machine thing. We tested and then she filled up 8 spots. So she made, like, I'm not good at math, but she, like, our ROI like went bango, right? So we never spend more than $5 a day per audience. So that's little tests like that gonna help you to move the needle without stressing out, right? So of course, you need some tools when you run Facebook ads. And I'm going to share with you which one they are. And I'm going to show you where to find them. Most of them are free. And the only investment is the ad you need to pay, right? You need to pay Facebook when they give you clients or leads or traffic to your website. Are you with me so far? Like, I don't even just give me thumbs up, because I don't want to touch any keyboard stuff in case it froze again. I'll do it at the end, okay? So the tools, business manager. So very often I hear confusion between the words business managers and ads managers, and I completely get it. It's confusing, but business manager is a kind of like, it's like a chest, like those furniture, a chest, and then you kind of have different drawers where you put all your advertising tools that belongs to the family of Facebook. So business manager, anybody can open one, and I would actually really encourage you to open your business manager if you haven't done so yet, because it really shows that you are a real serious marketer to Facebook. And then when things happen, when it turns bad, they block your account and stuff like that. I don't have proof of this. I just have stories about it. It's easier to be helped if there is any help that can be provided, right? So you can find it at business.facebook.com, basically. So, and you just go, like, you're gonna see that gray page and then create account. We call this as well, you're gonna hear that term, the gray Facebook, because everything is gray in Business Manager. Next, the second tool is the one you probably heard of. It's Ads Manager. So when you're going to be opening your business manager, you'll be able to create an ad manager that's going to manage all your ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, on Messenger, all the family of Facebook, right? So the thing I'm going to tell you, so you can access your ads manager via your business manager, but you can also, if you don't have a business manager yet, you can access your ads manager from your business Facebook page under publishing tools, I believe. Some people, depending on the version of Facebook you have, sometimes it's under publishing tools or sometimes it's under other, and you'll find your ads manager. So, okay, I want to reassure you, I see some faces doing like, what is that? Okay, I have those slides for you so that you can print them or put them in your second screen and go back through them again. Okay, so don't worry, just listen, take note, don't take too many notes. I mean, ask questions and stuff. Be fully present. Don't worry about all the stuff because you're gonna send me an email and I'm gonna send you via Dropbox the presentation so that you can implement right away what I'm teaching today. So, ads manager. When you are in your business manager, then it's gonna tell you if you want to create an ad manager, and you're gonna go through those slides. And when you click on the ad account here on the left, it's gonna open that window and you're gonna say create a new account. Or maybe sometimes, I don't know if there are some agencies here or freelancers, you may work for clients, then you're gonna have to request access to an ad account, okay? So, but if you're new at it and it's for your own business, you're gonna create a new ad account and just follow step by step. And my advice to you, so I started Facebook ads when Ads Manager was the very, very first version of it, and it was awful. And I'm not saying it's easy now, but it's way much easier. And I think the big win here is to think that it's not that complicated, because it can look super complicated, but it is not. But say it to yourself and it helps, believe me, to avoid some frustration. Okay. Then the third tool that is super important is called the Facebook Pixel. And whether you run ads right now or not yet, I would encourage you to grab your Facebook Pixel that you find in your ads manager. You see, everything is interrelated, right? You find your Facebook Pixel in your ads manager, you copy it. It's a piece of code that Facebook gives you, and it feels very nerdy when you do it. It's like, I'm coding, right? I know some of you love coding here. I'm thinking of Lynn here smiling. But okay, for people like me who don't know what they're doing with coding, you feel so nerdy because you're gonna take your piece of code, and whether you're gonna do it yourself and you're gonna put it on your website. So maybe you are with WordPress, maybe you are with Wix, maybe you are with whatever, or even some of you may not have a website yet. You may have just a landing page. So you can copy and paste that code on your landing page. For example, if you have an event or if you have a registration for a webinar, you can copy that Facebook Pixel there. So what does that do? The Facebook Pixel is really the spy. And Google has some pixels as well. So this is the same here. You know, when you're on Facebook or on a website and you find those, I don't know, Lululemon yoga pants, and then a second later, bang, you have an ad on your newsfeed from Lululemon, right? This is thanks to the pixel, right? So even if you don't run ads right now, your pixel gonna start collecting who is visiting your website, right? And this is key at every level of advertising on social media, because whether it's people browsing, reading your blogs, or people looking at a specific product, then you're gonna learn so much with the Facebook Pixel, who is watching what on your website, and you're gonna be able to put in place some ads that we call the retargeting ads. And those ads are amazing because they are pre-qualified people. You know, those people have discovered probably through Google your website. And now you're going to get them in your funnel. You're going to get them in your warm audiences. Some people, my mentor call it the invisible audience. Those are the ones you collect in the back end, thanks to the pixels. Again, believe me, it sounds complicated, but once you see it with your own eyes, you're like, this is it? Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Okay. So here I give you quickly, when you are in your ads manager, there is that little squid, events manager. You click on events manager, bang, it opens this here. You're going to click on add events, and then it says from the pixel, create here, bang, from the pixel. You click on from the pixel, you see? And then Facebook going to tell you, I think I have a slide, what it says. Yes. It says this, it opens that big window. And it says, do you want to manually add your pixel code to your website? You're going to say yes. And then it's going to give you the code. And if you have someone who helps you with your website, tell them, hey, Facebook, give me that code. Can you put it on my website? And if it's someone who knows what they're doing, it's going to take 30 seconds, right? So that's it. Facebook Pixel is your best friend. And your last tool is your credit card. Because when you set up an ad account, Facebook gonna ask you to get your credit card in it to activate your account. But Facebook will not, you decide how much money you want to put on Facebook. Facebook not gonna steal your money without you not knowing, unless you don't know what you're doing. It happens sometimes. It happened to me, forgetting to put the end limit and date to an ad, and the freaking ad went for 3 months. And I'm like, oh my God, $500 later, right? The event is past, it happens. But you mean, like the system is made so that you decide the amount of money you want to invest in Facebook ads. Number 4, and this is where I need all your attention. Don't run ads to run ads. Don't run ads because they serve a specific purpose, goal in your business. And I'm going to tell you more what I mean. I am into essential oil. I love essential oil. And in our world, we say there is an oil for everything, right? I don't know if you heard that. Well, guess what? There is an ad for every freaking thing in your business. You just need to know what they are, what they do. And then after that, you learn how to set them up. And then once you know, then it's good. And then Facebook changes everything 3 weeks from the day you finally got the way you do it. But that's okay. You learn, you keep learning. That's the way it is. You have to be ready for that. So where is your next client in their online journey? That's a question I want you to take time. I don't know. I use a flip chart a lot. If you have one or a big whatever, where your next, I want you to take the time to kind of draw a line. Where is your next client right now? Is it browsing on Google? Is it already in your Facebook, your Instagram? Where is it? Because for each step of the way, you can actually grab them with Facebook ads. So here it's my super fantastic allegory, metaphor of a journey. And I wanted to do a bridge. It's a huge bridge, a massive bridge with a big sea instead of a river inside below, but I did my best to draft that. So the idea is that there is someone on the other side of the river bank that needs to come to your side of the bank, the river bank, right? So and there are multiple bridges because there are so many marketers everywhere that probably are selling the service, the program, or the products that you sell, right? So why should I stop at your bridge and cross the bridge and join you and buy from you? So that's why the very first part here is like to how every day in your social media content are you talking to strangers that you need of, you know for sure that they need your services, your program, or whatever you offer. So once you get them, you get their attention. So this is where, we do a lot of posts around, branding, bringing value for free to people. We do, like, we expose who we are. You post about, the pain points of your clients, what they need, what challenges they have right now. So you're going to create content on your day-to-day social media platforms that really address, one thing is who you are as the expert in your field, but also that the pain of the people who are right now browsing the internet and they don't know you yet, right? So how do you create content right now that are exactly for those strangers, right? So it's by studying your ideal client and, doing interviews with them and stuff. That's what we do in our lab. But once you have those content and you establish them very clearly every week, this is where actually Facebook ads can help you. So that's one way to bring more awareness, to make you more visible in the eyes of those strangers. Some Facebook ads are meant to do that and only that. Because a lot of the frustration I see among business owners is that by using the wrong type of ad, then you don't get results because the ad is not optimized for what you want to do, right? So if you tell Facebook, I want more eyes on my videos, then you're gonna run video views ads, right? If you want to be seen by an extending, more people to reach, then you're gonna use a reach ad. If you want more comments inside, you want more engagement, then you're gonna run engagement ads. So that's why I'm saying, when you know the journey of your ideal client, like when they go from strangers to get to buy from you, where do they go? And then how can you build your social media content following them in their journey so that they come into your ecosystem, pass the bridge, trust you enough that they want to buy and rebuy and rebuy and rebuy from you because they love you. You went through all that journey that can be, it depends. Some people, it takes a month, some 6, some 2 years, and then they stay in your ecosystem. So my point here is, like, once you build the trust, you give them more and more each time of the step in their journey with you, they fall in love with you, and then they fall in love with whatever the solution you have for them. And then they want to stay with you. They become your best ambassador online, and they talk to you, to everybody. And that's how it works. And then all along the way, you can use ads. And this is where I want to bring you. When you're in your ads manager, Facebook make you choose a goal. So if you don't know why you want to write an ad, you're going to have trouble here because you're like, okay, which one? And this is going to cost you money if you don't use the right one. So the ones I love the most, I'm going to tell you what I do, what works for me and my clients and my students. And remember, rule number 1, don't follow rules, test, right? For me, what works super well is, especially when we are talking to strangers, we use a lot of video views. And then when we know that people are watching those videos, we want them to engage. We want to build that relationship, that we're building engagement ads, right? And then when they're ready, warm enough, we're going to bring them to our website to read a blog, maybe to consult some stuff, or maybe to a webinar. And then we're going to get them to buy, right? So those are going to be the conversion ads, or sometimes traffic ads as well work. And then there is those I use a lot. I use this one a lot. Sometimes it depends of, Lynn, that's you coming up. Reach is great. I like it for when you have big budgets. So for bigger organization, I would use Reach. But what I like about the engagement and the traffic and the lead generation or any of those ads is that Facebook allows you to retarget anybody who have been interacting with any ads on any of the Facebook family platforms. So this is powerful, the depth of retargeting you can do once you have set up the basics. So today we're talking about the basics, but I just want to show you that the basics bring you to another world. Okay, so this is exactly what we did for our friend here who is with us today, Lin. So Lin was a rock star. She did the DNA lab with me, and starting from scratch. And Lin, you will be better at telling the story, but you're gonna hear how I share your story. You were one of those women came to me and said, I have 3 months or I'm dead, basically. Okay, how do we do it? I need clients. So it's always the same pattern. We need to let the world know that you exist. And how do you tell the world that you exist? It's not by saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, because I'm gonna shut you off, right? So you're gonna bring value to the world, or whether it's regional, national, or international. You need to give the best of who you are as an expert in your field. So that's how, I'm just gonna be brief there, but with we put in place a system with Lynn where every week I think you still do, showing up for audiences and helping them in any health questions around families, around kids, around all the pain points of our clients. So every week she teaches a video with 3 points of how to help them to fix their problem for free, like as a video, right? And then you use those people who are watching those videos over and over and over to bring them to your system. So either you could grab them to ask them for an email, you could go and bring them to a webinar or to we don't do much of that right now, like an open house and stuff like that. And then after that, people that are in your ecosystem, they give you emails, they go to your Facebook groups, they go to your Instagram. You can send them, traffic or conversion ads, because that new product, that new service that you're having really fit their need, right? It's where, selling becomes serving, right? So here Lynn is saying, that you have to listen to me when you work with me. I love that line. But she really said that the system you put in place, at the day-to-day stuff, the posts you create every day, plus the ad layer that you add to your regular post, this is where the system gets you in front of the right audience and bring revenues. Now, last step, are you still with me? The missing part of so many businesses. And we hear a lot. It's like the Facebook sucks. That's one thing we hear a lot. And then the second one is like email are dead. They are not dead. If you didn't know, they're not dead. Money is in the email. Don't say that money doesn't come from social media. It's not. It comes, from social media to the email, or even directly from social media to your bank account. I'm not saying this, but don't underestimate the power of email. So today I'm going to show you a simple ad you can run on Facebook to build your email list. And that's one of my students. She said, I always share this because she said, when she discovered the power of building your email list with qualified leads. So an email is a lead. For those of you who are new to those jargon, an email is a lead. It's a potential client. It's a prospect. Like there's so many words, right? But this lady, she is in Chicago in the US, and she said to me, oh my God, I spent the weekend loading up my email list. By the way, you can automate that, but she didn't at the time. And she said it felt like learning about how to set up a Facebook lead gen ad felt like having a scrunchie and extend it to 100%. That's how it felt for her. So let's dive in. And again, I'm going to give you those slides when you send me an email. I'll send it to you so that you don't have to worry. I just want to show you how simple it is. There are different ways to ask people for their email. I'm sure you know, but one of the easy way with Facebook without breaking the bank, and it's also a great way to learn about your market. So most of the time, the lead ads that we do are, and you probably do it for your business, or maybe not yet, or maybe you've been using them as a client or as a potential client for other businesses, is that you give your email in exchange of something that you can get right away in your email box that you can implement right away. So quizzes, a checklist, PDF, ebooks, things that are like, that if you give your email, a minute later, it's going to be in your email box, you're going to be able to use it, and then it's going to work. So it's kind of your first footprint in your next client life. You're going to send them something that is awesome, going to work right away for them, that they don't want to miss the next video you do, because that girl is amazing, right? So what I'm going to show you today is a lead ad on Facebook that delivers a PDF. I think the one I have here is where to start with your Facebook ads or something like that. Like, what do you need to set up first before you start with ads? So you go to your ads manager, and I want you to pay attention. There are 3 steps here: the campaign, the ad set, and the ad. So those are basically the 3 steps of building an ad. The campaign is where you say to Facebook the goal of your ad. You want more people to watch your video, more people who go to your website, more people who engage, whatever. You choose here. And today we're going to use, I want more email, right? And there is an ad for everything. There is an ad to get more email. Then at the ad set level, this is where you're going to tell Facebook who should see that ad. And this is where it gets tricky, because what if I don't know? What if I'm not sure? And you not only you're going to say who, but you're going to say how much. Oh my God, I don't know how much. I don't want to waste money, right? So this is where we're going to go for that. And then on the third here is really the post you're going to create that is the ad. So the image or the video, and then the copy, and then the call to action, and the button. We're going to put a button. Those buttons, learn more, book now, buy now. You have a button for everything. Okay. Next step. Here we go. So I click on campaign, and then this is opening. And I'm going to choose the lead generation, which means emails. I'm going to give good stuff on Facebook to my people in exchange of their email, right? And then click on continue. Then it's going to probably, depending on so don't get bugged on how it looks when you're going to do it for your own business, because depending on the latest version you have of your ads manager, it could be maybe not on the top, but on the left or on the right, okay? So don't worry about that. It's somewhere, I promise you, unless it changed in the last hour. And then Facebook asks you to give a title to your campaign, to your ad sets, and to your ad. Usually I start with the campaign. So that was a test lead, ad number 4. Like, you can name them the way you want. Just make sure, name them right, because when you're going to have 100 ads and you're like, okay, I don't remember this one worked well, but which one was that? So try to title them so that you recognize them. Okay. So after that, and you can screen capture that. This is the email. If you want the slides, you send me an email and you put slides in the title so that I know that you want the slides. Okay, you can leave me a note too. I like to read. It's just if you are not a talking person, you just want the slide, just send me the email that says slides. Okay, and I'll send you the link. Okay, now you keep an eye on your navigation tool and you select ad, because Facebook doesn't like to make things easy. So you're going to see at the top of your page, the 3 sections I show you, campaign, ad set, and ad, it comes here now. And it comes here too. So I'm usually using this navigation tool here. So that's my campaign, right? So now I'm going to click on ad set. This is where I'm going to put my budget, my audience, and everything. So when you do a lead ad generation, there is some extra button that you need to click, okay? And this is what I'm going to show you. So I click here, bang, and this opens here, bang. So you're going to name your ad set and choose the Facebook page you are using for the ad. So if you are an admin on many pages, be careful. this could be risky, okay? Make sure that you're selecting the right page. So for me, my English page is Woman Entrepreneur Social Media Love. Even if you don't follow me yet, you better follow me after that webinar. Okay, that was just an error thing. Okay, and then Facebook for this ad only gonna tell you you've accepted, gonna ask you to accept Facebook lead ad terms and encourage you to read them. Basically, you are not supposed to sell people's information, right? So there are rules. So read them. Read them. Don't get over intimidated by them. Just to read them so that it sinks in your brain. Then you just say, I agree, and then you accept the terms. So that's basically the first steps. Then this is where it gets juicy. Where do I want to send my ad today? Well, it depends. I don't know, like tell me in the comments. I'll go to the comments later, but for later, I would love to know, is your market local or is it national or is it North America or is it the world? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments because we'll have questions after. So this is why you tell Facebook, where do you want me to send that ad? So, and then it asks you the age. So try not to go narrow. So maybe you know that your ideal client is a woman that is 35 to 60. Well, go maybe 30 and like don't go too narrow because Facebook, as I told you at the beginning, has amazing tools to narrow it for you. So make it wide enough, but not completely wide, right? So there, if you know, chances are that at 18 people don't have a credit card, right? So you're not going to send your ad to someone who can't buy anything online. And don't go to, and it sounds like not nice, but don't go send your ads in countries that don't have international credit cards, because it's going to be a waste of your money. Plus you can't help them because we don't have the transaction tools. So that's part of, each time it makes me sad because I'm like, oh, why not? Right? But that's how it is right now. Hopefully the world's going to change for best at some point, right? So, and then you gender. So for me, I always target women, but you can put all genders. And so that's where you put your countries. And I encourage you to put multiple countries, especially when you start a lead ad, unless you do local, okay? But go as wide as you can because Facebook gonna narrow it down for you. And when you start too narrow, then it's gonna cost more to you because you're gonna ask Facebook to do more work, basically. And then each time you set up your location, your age, your gender, and the detailed targeting, that Facebook gives you kind of a potential audience that you're gonna reach. So let's say this one is not what I do, like it's just an example. It says I'm gonna target the UK, people from 18 to 65, all genders. It brings me to 84 million people, which means that if I spend $5 a day, I could get 1.4 thousand people. And then maybe 3 to 15 of them gonna opt into my PDF, right? That's kind of, I like to use this because usually you'll see what happens next. I'll show you, right? So now so you put the country, the location, you put the age, you put the gender. Now you need to tell Facebook a little more, like what type of, specifics do you want me to target? So there are different ways to go about that. So when you're in my lab with my students, what we do is that we study, it's called a lab for a reason. We study like crazy our audience, our potential clients. We put them in the laboratory, and then we get to know them so much that it's easier for us to target. But when you don't know, you have to start with very almost your guts in a sense. So for example, I'm giving you my example. All I know of my women that I help with social media love, they're all crazy about Marie Forleo. Who doesn't know Marie Forleo? Right? Okay, oh my God, she's gonna have 2 or I don't know how many followers. Okay, good for Mary. Okay, and this is one of my best audience actually, because most women entrepreneurs follow Mary Forleo, and they probably bought her program, which is called the B School. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go after women who love Marie Forleo because I know they are probably business owners or want to aspiring entrepreneurs, and Facebook does the work for me. Then after that, Facebook gives you suggestion. If you pick one that you think is close to one of the interests of your ideal client, then you let Facebook give you some suggestion. And this is where it's really cool. So that's kind of on the side of interest around gurus. But then if you know that, for example, if we go with Jennifer at the Etsy art program, she knows that she has to target families with kids from 6 to 12. So Facebook has demographic target that allows you to do that. And maybe we went with ideas like, okay, those people are looking for summer camps. So we told Facebook, any families who are looking for summer camps, bang, it brought the right people. They bought, right? Sometimes you don't know as defined, and that's okay, because again, it's better to start wide, especially for lead ads, I would say. And then you go with either the demographic, if your PDF or your whatever the opt-in that you give to your people is really meant only for families, then you're gonna target families. But if it's like, anybody in the age of this and that is interested in yoga, then you're gonna put yoga, right? And Facebook gonna do the rest. But this is not it. Oh, budget. So again, my recommendation, and you know what? Last week I did a test with $2 a day. My ads were sent in Europe. It was from my French social media love. And I got so many leads for $2 a day. Plus, out of those leads, I think I got 27 in 3 days. And one of them booked a call with me. So that's how I recruit people, through calls. So it works. $2 can work too for you. Try it. There is no rules, again, all right? So I usually start with 5, but if you want to try with 2 a day, do this, okay? And this is where a regular ad would stop there, would stop there. For the other ads I show you, like the engagement, the video views and stuff. But when you do a lead ad, it's a little different, because remember, we need to give something to the people who are going to give us their email, a PDF. So literally I use canva.com for my PDF. A checklist, maybe you are I'm going to use you again, Lynn, but you know that sleep is an issue for a lot of people. So maybe it could be a checklist that is, the 10 ways to kind of make sure you sleep better next week or something. And then you have a checklist, right? People love consuming short, sweet, very concrete stuff, right? So depending on depending on your field of expertise, it works for any industry. You just need to brainstorm, right? So here we go. And I'll give you an opportunity to brainstorm at the end, so stay tuned. Now, so that's the part here of your ad where you have to create a form. So most of the time when people create a form, they go on another platform. You probably filled up your name, email, first name, last name, but you're on another platform. The beauty of Facebook is that it's inside Facebook. So people don't have to get out of Facebook. That's why most of the time they work well, because people stay on Facebook and they don't have to go anywhere else. So you're gonna click on add form, and then Facebook gonna bring you there on that thing here. So basically a lead ad has three steps. Once you click on the ad and you want the PDF, you click on the button that says learn more. You click there, it brings you to a threefold kind of screen. The first screen is going to be to put your name, address and stuff. Then the second is going to tell you what you're going to get in your email. And the third one is like to say goodbye. And by the way, if you want more stuff, here's what you can do. So let's bear with me right there. So once you click on the form, this is the form. So you're going to give a name to your form. And again, you're going to have all those slides. Okay. So create a form and then you name it. Only you're going to see that. And then you're going to have to fill up those 4 categories, basically. You start with this here. And I would say, again, you test. I like to use more volume. But if I just want the right people, because some people, just, you know what they're going to do? They're going to download your stuff and then unsubscribe from your email list because they don't care. I get that. But they're the ones you want, the one who stay are the one you want, right? So I don't care if people unsubscribe because I don't need 1,000 people to buy from me. If 100 buy from me, that's enough, right? So it's where are your goals? So you can start with more volume, and then after that, you can start with higher intent. So only people that are serious about downloading that PDF because they're going to have an extra step. So this is where you see how much the person really wants your PDF, okay? So when I start, I would start with more volume. Then you're going to click on intro. Then you're going to put the question you want people to answer. So usually it's name, last name, first name, email, and then I use the phone number because I use messenger marketing, but that's another topic. Then you're going to have to put a privacy policy. So if you have a website, you probably already have a privacy policy. If you don't, get it today because that's really important. You need to tell people what you do when they browse your website because you're going to retarget them with ads. You're going to use their data in a way for your marketing. So people have to know about this and they have to agree. And if you have clients in Europe, I forgot the word in French, the European Union, that's what I meant. There are extra layers of policy that you need to showcase. It's called the GDPR. And if you're interested in learning more on that, I have an amazing guru that I work with for my own policies, and she has so many amazing stuff. She has a free webinar coming up that could be like massive for all of you who don't have those privacy policies on your website. So that's basically what it looks like. So I'm going to show you. Okay, don't panic. It's just because I'm showing you every step here. So when you're going to have it for yourself, it's going to be easier to read. Basically, when people open your lead ad, they see the title of what is your PDF, for example. So you're going to put the headline right there. Then you're going to tell people what is it exactly. So you're going to write a little paragraph. So I say this new guide. So the title is new, how to sell on social media without being salesy. And then the text says this new guide gives 5 tips of content for social media marketing that will help you show up regularly in front of your audience, even when you have no idea what to post that day. So that's what it shows up right there. Then they click on next. And here, when they click on next, it's gonna bring them here. Put their name, email, phone number. And you can choose, you can add more stuff, right? But remember, people are lazy online. They don't want to click too much, right? So do the minimum, I would say. If you want to go an extra layer, you can. But when you test first, do simple, I would say, right? And then here, Facebook gonna ask you to ask a description here, because you have to tell people what you're going to be doing with this. So we'll use your information to send you our weekly newsletter, for example. And you'll see when you are in that section, Facebook gives you example of sentences that you can copy and paste to be safe. So don't worry about that. Then, so now we do the privacy policy, but basically I have a privacy policy that I need to update, by the way, on my website, but right now I use this one. And then so people, and then it shows up here, right? It says privacy policy. If you want to know what I'm going to do with your data, go to that link and they can check. And then the submit, poof. And then when they submit, there is a goodbye message here. So you can use it for strategically. Personally, I send them to my website because there are more goodies to download there. But there is another way you can do it. So it says, oh, your PDF is on the way. I've sent it to the email you provided. Check your spam folder if you can find it. And if you'd like more free resources, we've got really helpful videos, articles, and tutorials at socialmedialoveab.com. I really want them to learn more about all the tools I have for free for them. And then I put my link. But it could be something, yeah. It could say, oh, wait. If you want to see the latest, collection of our lipstick this week, check this video. I've just done a 2-minute tutorial about, what's new in our company, right? And then they click and then they watch your video, and probably at the video, they say, if you want the lipstick, contact me, and you have this lipstick, right? You buy the lipstick. So there are different ways you can use the end of, I send people to my website because I want them to consume my content, but you choose what is the strategy for your business. So what happens after that is that Facebook grab their email, and then they grab their email, and then there is a section on your Facebook where you can literally go and grab the new emails and put them in your email system. So I don't know if you use MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or whatever system you use for email. And there are ways to automate all of this. But at first, if you don't have the tools to automate, don't worry, it still works, right? So that's your lead form. So now we told Facebook where to send it. We told Facebook what the lead form is about. Now we finish our ad. So we go to that section number 3 here, which is the post. What the post gonna look like on Facebook and on the stories and in the other platforms, right? So here's what how it works. You have to click on the lead form you just created to make sure that Facebook link your post to that lead form, okay? So you'll see that it show up right there. It's called instant form. It'll show up when you click here. Then, hop. Then here you decide if you're gonna use an image, or a video. So that's, you're gonna add your media. Then you're gonna grab a text for your people to read your post. There's a text that I use for myself, that I use for my clients, that always work. It doesn't mean you have to do it, because remember, there is no recipe, but I'm sharing what's been working a lot for me and for my mentors, and I'm learning from the best, so you can trust me, but you can test. Maybe it won't work for you. It's this. Read this if you want that, without X. So read this if you want whatever the win or the success they are looking for, without the pain. Okay, so read this if you want to know how to make ads on social media without spending a fortune. That's the formula. This triggers our brain as human. So you can try it. There are other formulas like that you can test. You can also do longer version. Like, there is no one rule, right? I'm just giving you this example because this is the one I have here in our webinar. Oh, we don't say webinar, in our training today. Christine, I see you on my left. Okay. And then so you can add your photo. So either your photo is already on your Facebook library, or you can go to your computer and grab it from there. And then next, this is what it looks like, right? So you put your text, read this if you want this without that. You put the headline, free new PDF, whatever. And then you put your call to action. Learn more, sign up, download, whatever you think. I like to use learn more, because I find people are scared if you say buy now. They're like, nah, I don't want to buy, right? It's a thing we have humans. Well, you want to buy if you need it, right? If it's really what you need right now, right? So just for comfort level, again, you test, learn more, sign up, download, you test, and you see what works for you and your audience. So you test your copy. So short and sweet, or a little storytelling, longer, maybe this is gonna work better for you. Try it. When I first started as a social media consultant, this happened to me. Then this is how I solved the solution, and this is why today I'm sharing with you that amazing checklist of the 5 types of content. Blah, blah. So that's more a storytelling post, and maybe that would convert better, or as well as the short and sweet. To test, you have to test. You have to learn the language of your audience, right? So this is what we do in the DNA lab. We learn how they call their pain. So if you are, like for me, my jargon is like, you want a lead, but maybe some of you have no idea what a lead is. You say, I want more email. Oh, so in my copy, I should say the word email. because that speaks to most of entrepreneurs. They need email. If I say leads, some do know what it is, some don't. So learn the language of your audience. And then you publish, bang. Okay? Now, the last piece. Are you still with me? Because the last piece is where the magic happens. And it doesn't come from me, it comes from my mentor. And I've been using it for myself, for clients, for organization I work for. Bang, this is it. Okay, so again, we don't break the bank, $5 a day to test our market. So this is my example for social media love. So it's again, that's another PDF. It says how to use ads without spending too much. What does it say? Read this if you want to start with social media ads without spending too much. So it's a PDF, a checklist. And so I know my audience more and more, but I let Facebook teach me more about who else, the people who like Marie Forleo here, who else do they follow on social media? They follow Gary Vee, they follow Grant Cardone, they follow Brandon Burchard, they follow Oprah, Ryan Dice. And I'm going to test those audiences. The people on Facebook who are women between 35 to 65, who likes Grant Cardone or Gary Vee. Are they going to be interested by my ad? I don't know until I test it. Then I went with gurus, but I went also with the type of people they are. So they're not behavior, but their job. So some people say they're small business owners, but I make sure that they have a Facebook page, and Facebook let you target people who are admin on Facebook pages. And then I also went with, what else did I go? Small businesses. Oh, not in this one. Okay. But sometimes I would go with orthodontist. If I am sometimes I run campaign that is just based on people's occupation, right? And then I put $5 or $2 a day. I did last week. And then I see, so no kidding, this is how I do it. You test it. I keep it $5 a day for 3 days. And at the end of the 3 days, I see who wins. And what is a win? Your North Star in terms of metrics to follow, like in terms of result for your ad, is really up to you and what your risk level of spending in ads or investing in ads. For me, if an email costs me more than $5, I don't want it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I had to put a cut. So after 3 days, I cut everything that cost me more than $5 a lead or an email. So I ended up cutting all those people. No Brandon Burchard, no Oprah, no Ryan Dice, no, like out. And I kept Marie Forleo and Gary Vee, who were performing well at $3 fee 14, $3.60, and I got 55 leads, right? And out of those people, I invited them to a webinar, and I got some exploratory call after the webinar. So you see, when we talk about a funnel, that's how it works. It's how you talk to your people on social media. You add a layer of ads, and then you bring them in your own sales system, no matter what it is, whether you're a store or maybe you're e-commerce or maybe you're a coach or you are a medical specialist. So ads are really cool because you're not supposed to spend anything as you reinvest your business money in them, right? So this is where you have to figure out, how much money you are willing to invest in Facebook ads, and how much of those ads. Some ads are long-term, some are short-term. And if you can have some ad that brings money right away, then you can reinvest that in more ads to reach more people, right? And then it's like a race. You test your audience with $2 or $5 a day, and the horse that wins, you keep that horse. The other ones go back to the barn. Right? So that's how I test my audiences. This is how we do it with my clients. And then you have a sense of control, right? It's literally like a racing horse stuff. The fastest, the one you bet on is the one, you keep and you do more of, right? So, which is why your mission with ads, as I say, is to get more than that $5 back, right? Once you know there is an ad that works well, this is when you're going to start investing more and then your ROI gonna be more. And hopefully on the same day, but again, depending on your strategy, when you spend money on video views to build an audience that you want to retarget in 1 month, you're going to have to spend that money for a month and then collect the money later, right? So for lead ads, what I love is that it's like obvious. You fill up your email list and then you nourish people on your email list afterwards. Okay. So what would it feel for you to finally feel in control of who you're talking to on social media? Because that's a big frustration I hear a lot. I don't know what to say, and I don't know what he's saying anything anyway. Who am I talking to? I'm not sure, right? That's really something we struggle for. So if you want me to teach you how to make ads that works for you, I would love to help you. And this is what I said at the beginning. I'm going to show you this. I want you to think about it. Because if you do have great news, there is the Audience DNA Lab, which is a 10-week program. And this is where we actually study our audience in a way that feels good when it's time to run ads. So you build your social media fundamentals that gets you the visibility. Like, I want more people to see what I do, what I offer. I want to bring more leads or emails in my system, because if social media is removed for whatever reason, and we know it happens, then you need your email list. You need to be in touch with those people who are becoming true believer of what you do the best as the expert in your field, right? And you want, of course, those leads to become customers. And if you want to do your first sales funnel campaign, that's what we do at the end of that 10-week program. So it's just 10 weeks or less, depending on where you are at. This is really to build your skill sets, the skill set that it requires before you envision to scale your business with ads, right? Before you invest tons of money, you need to learn the basic, and then it's another world, really another world. So if that's something that you're interested in to learn more about, what is that 10-week program? You send me another email, but this one doesn't say slide, it says DNA, and we can book a call. And when I book a call with someone, I'm not going to sell it to you if I don't see there is a fit. So don't be mad at me if I say, no, I can't. If I can't serve you, I'm not going to pretend that I can. So it's just a conversation that we have together. And then, so you know, the program is reopening mid-November. So we have time. It's perfect for your own business Christmas present. And I'm going to take 5 to 10% max, because I love working in small groups. This is how we get the best ideas for coaching, for training, and the community, that we build around those programs. And then just for you guys, I added that class, that slide actually, Christine. I thought you were freaking out because I told you that I had an appointment at the hospital, right? And then I might not be right on time for noon, but I was building that slide because I like to give you special stuff, right? So as I say, if and only if we decide that my program is a good fit for you when we have the call, then this is what you get for free. So I helped you set up your business manager, your ads manager, and your first lead ad, and we do a strategy session, because I never set up an ad without having a strategy overview of why you want to do that. So the value is $3,500, and this is only available until midnight today, Atlantic time, because I believe we're all in Atlantic Canada here. So this is for you. So the only thing you have to do is to send me another email at contact@socialmedialoveabby.com. So if you have any question, do we still have time for questions? Because I wasted some of our time at the beginning because of my sharing screen thing, but I'm going to kind of reduce my screen and check if there are questions. Or Christine, if you've seen question you want me to answer while I am doing this.
I don't see any questions, just people have commented and answered.
Okay, I'm going to go there.
Yeah, it's just been stuff like if you've asked questions like the local or what you do, it's that sort of stuff, but nobody has asked questions per se.
Sam, local, Canada. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so So I think we're good. And in the spirit of time, I know we got a little late start there,
Yeah.
but I guess there are no other questions. So I would like to thank you, Angelique. That was a lot of information and very helpful, which is great. And if folks have further questions for Angelique, reach out to her directly, or if you're not sure how to, you can reach out to Tanya or I, and we will happily send you Angelique's contact information.
Yeah, and get your slides, because it's good.
Yes.
You can do it, at your own pace.
Yes, exactly. So if you want that, if you want the slides, then yes, definitely reach out and to Angelique directly, and she will happily pass those along.
Yes, it was nice to hang out with you for lunch. Thank you.
Yes, it was lovely. Thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Angelique.
Very helpful. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. See you.
Have fun with your ads.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.